Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is December 12th, 2024, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, many of the FAANG stocks either making all-time record highs or new yearly highs. But first, looking at today's major economic events, so at 3:15 South African time, from the European Union, we have the European Central Bank will have a main refinancing rate. And then 3:30 South African time from the United States, PPI, Producers Price Index. Now looking at the market, starting out the Forex symbols, the majors really tapering off while we're shifting over to the indices. The NASDAQ pushing to new all-time record highs on the back of those big tech stocks, while the Dow Jones tapers lower. Now looking at commodities, gold, crude oil, and natural gas all push higher. Now looking at the stocks, it's Google, Meta, Netflix, that push to new yearly highs, and looking at Tesla continues to push higher. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin rebounds above 100K. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to just cover the Canadian dollar and the Japanese yen in the Forex markets. And the Canadian dollar is tapering off from its lows of 141.96, just almost touching that 142-ish level. So it's going to be consolidating in this upper level. I would use 140.97, about 100 pips lower than where we are right now, as a supportish level. So keep that in mind, as that is almost a 50% retracement of that. So keep that on the radar. Now jumping into the Japanese yen, did get a decent bounce, okay, getting weaker versus the US dollar, and as to be expected, right? It was almost, 50%. It was more like 25% of its retracement, but then pushing out higher versus the dollar. Now shifting over to commodities, where the markets are trading a little bit more, gold is trading at its resistance level, 27.15. Let's see if it does break it. If it doesn't, it's going to go back to 26.20-ish level. That's just the way gold has been rocking recently. Now looking at crude oil, also hitting its resistance-ish level, and natural gas also pushing higher. Didn't reach its high of 365, but did push higher as well. Now jumping into the U.S. markets, let's take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ throws itself up. I want to say push higher, rallies, however you want to describe it. It hit all-time record highs on the back of many of these big tech stocks. Now, to move this type of market takes a lot of money, because these are mega firms. These are not small companies that, used to just kind of whipsaw them. And this is really super important, because if money is being flowed into it in a significant amount towards the end of the year, we may still have a extended rally here on the upside. Now, the Dow Jones did retrace a little bit more, all right, from its about 800 points over its all-time record highs. Now, looking at the stocks, let's take a look at it. Meta, number one. That was one of the big ones that made new all-time record highs, 637. If we look at Google, which really plowed much, much higher, much faster. Let's take a look at it. There we go. Okay, 196, a big move for Google on the upside. The other one was Netflix, also on the upside, 937. And I mentioned Tesla yesterday, that it retraced to that 403, but didn't break the 400. And sure enough, in just one day, made 24 bucks on Tesla. So these things are super strong. They want to continue going higher, and they will, okay? Until they sell off, they'll continue going higher. Now remember, Tesla has resistance-ish level at 448, so you do want to keep that on the radar as well. Now, let's take a look at NVIDIA, because it also regained some power yesterday, 137 on the upside. Lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin trading above 100K, did rebound nicely from that slump of trading around 92,000, but did push up higher. Now, the thing is about these rallies is that they're taking rotation. If I look at Apple, for example, it didn't rally to all-time record highs, right? It retraced a little bit to 246. So they're doing rotation, which means that some of these will not continue to rally later today, but you want to see what will happen next, okay? You want to be in it. You want to just gauge the market, because the market looks, as a whole, that the tech sector has been very strong, while the banks and those type of companies that are on the Dow Jones have been relatively weak. So it's very selective in this type of market, and you just got to play it each day, because the trend is going to be a little bit inconsistent. That's basically what I'm trying to say. All right, so keep to your stop losses. Make sure that you have them in place and know the levels. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.